Quality or high-end boots are an investment, which is why our team here at Meindl is dedicated to making sure that you have the right experience when it comes to picking the right boot model and the right boot size. But that's only the beginning. Actually, boot care can be equally as important, if not more important, when it comes to reassuring that your investment lasts longer and takes you further. So let's talk about what you need to properly care for your boots. First items for all of your nubuck leather products, we're gonna grab the Wet Proof from Meindl. If you're running a suede boot, we're gonna get the suede conditioner and proofer instead. For finishing purposes, we wanna grab a can of the Meindl Sport Wax. Brushes, you're gonna need a brush to clean that debris off when you are starting to actually clean the boots right out of the gate. You can see I've got the Meindl soft tooth brush right here. I also like to grab an older brush that's maybe not as nice, just in the event I've got a lot of mud and debris on my boots and I gotta get them a lot more clean than normal. And then we have a Meindl finishing cloth right here. Last but not least, we're gonna have a full pail or bucket of warm water. Warm water is very important when it comes to leather products. So the starting steps to cleaning a used boot, make sure that we're removing those laces from the boots completely. Also gonna pull our insoles out. Let's make sure that those are out. Now, we're gonna grab our light brush here. We're gonna go over and remove any light dust, dirt, debris. Let's get a little bit more dirty here. We're gonna grab our bigger brush. You can see I've got quite a bit of dirt and debris around the rand and the sole. We wanna make sure we get that cleaned off. We're gonna condition that rand as well. So once we've cleaned the exterior of the boot, we wanna go back to inspecting the boot one more time now that we've got all that dirt, mud, and debris, making sure that there's not any new exposed cuts or fractures to the leather of the boot. So let's start first with the leather, then we'll move into the rand. So leather, you're gonna start to see a little bit of abrasion. You're gonna see some small cuts over time, and that's not a bad thing. That's why we're reconditioning these boots. Matter of fact, it adds a little character to your boot, to your investment. Now, after you've inspected your leather and you feel comfortable with what you have with normal wear and tear, let's take a look at the rand. The rubber rand is this rubber band that you're gonna see go all the way around the base of the leather of the exterior of the boot, connecting it to the sole of the boot. This is to protect that leather from those highly abrasive areas, climbing rocks, going through rock slides, climbing cliffs. Over time, what you'll start to see is if you spend a lot of extended time in moist areas or wet environments with your boot coming out and drying out and then going back to those wet environments, you'll start to see some separation around that rand on occasion. So step number 3 is waterproofing and reconditioning your boots. The first part of this is establishing whether you have a nubuck leather boot or a suede leather boot like in the Alpine series. Here in front of me, I have the nubuck boot, therefore I'm gonna be using the Meindl Wet Proof Reconditioner. If I had a suede boot, I would be using the Meindl Suede Conditioner and Proofer. Major thing, we're gonna come back and start this process when the leather on our boots is still damp because it's gonna leave the pores open and those pores are gonna accept the reconditioner a lot better. What we're trying to do is reestablish that DWR finish that is on the boots. So we'll get started here with the right boot on this one. We're just gonna spray from a distance, getting a good, consistent coating. Once we've completed this process for both boots, we're going to let them set for 24 hours. Well, we've now let our boots dry for 24 hours and it's time to apply the Meindl Sport Wax. To do this, we are going to grab our Sport Wax. You can use a sponge, you can use a cloth. I even use my fingers to get into some of the areas that I can't necessarily reach with a sponge or cloth, but you're gonna apply this to every square centimeter of the leather. You're also going to apply this to your loops and any metal products on the outside. This can help prevent corrosion in those, in the event that you're in and out of a lot of wet environments a lot. So let's go on ahead, let's get to work and just start to apply the Sport Wax into all of our leather and even rand area. Well, we finished the application of Sport Wax, which means that we're ready for step number 4 in proper boot care, and that is proper drying and storage of your boots. When it comes to drying, you want to keep these boots in an environment that is cool, dry, and stable. It allows for these boots to naturally dry. Go on ahead and leave your laces out for the first 12 to 24 hours just to allow all of that conditioning to set in properly. Then you can put them back in. Keep them in the environment that you're living in, whether it's your home, your office, your workshop, wherever it might be, where you have humidity control and climate control or temperature control, and have the ability to keep them in a place where leather is going to perform its best. That being said, boots are not made to be stored. The best thing you can do for them is get out and use them. So put your investment to use, get to the point where you need more boot care and more maintenance because you've been wearing them, and enjoy your investment. So hope this has been helpful. That's boot care, or the 4 easy steps to boot care and maintenance when it comes to your high-end footwear.